the new 70 Chevelle job that we got in. We got the doors. The customer got them from Chevelle, along with the door hinges. It seems like it's a little bit short right here, but it's got a good gap all the way down. It's got a pretty good gap all the way up. A little bit wider than I like. As you can tell, I can't go forward with the door anymore because I'll have too big of a gap here. But I can't go back with the door because that won't be right down there. Now we're drilling all the spot welds out. A bunch in there. There's 2 there. There's 3 over here. And all down the side there. And you gotta get all these up on the top. You're just gonna use a step drill for those. Get those out to get this panel off. We still got some there to do. And I don't know what happened there. It's a different type of spot welds from the factory that I've never seen before. That firewall is almost off. It's all welded in, now we just have to grind it. Okay, here's our newest 70 Chevelle. We got the quarter panel off on Friday. And we got the trunk floor welded in here. It's screwed in up in the front. And it's just clamped on the wheel tub there. But it is welded here. We measured this post here to where the old one was. So the trunk floor fit right where the old one was. As you can see, it is level. So we'll be taking this wheel tub, inner and outer wheel tubs off on Monday. Today is Sunday. We're always working. So we're going to be taking those off and installing the new ones that we got from Auto Metal Direct. And same with the quarter panels from Auto Metal Direct. So the roof and this panel are basically the only 2 panels that we are keeping. We got new doors. We've already stripped those and epoxied them. As you can see, it needs a front floor. We got to take that shifter off. We'll do some seam sealing. Put a new firewall on. Fixed some holes in here. There's the other new door. So we'll get those quarter panels on. We start doing body work back there. And then we have to get some fenders and a hood. And the whole front end of the car. There's the wheel tubs from Auto Metal Direct right there. So stay tuned for this one. Kevin here from Harrington Classic Car Restorations. This is the 70 Chevelle. We call it the TA Chevelle because it comes from Thomas Automotive, which is right next door to me. We got a new firewall in it, new doors. We've already stripped and epoxied those. Took this quarter panel off. Today we welded in the wheel tubs, the trunk floor extension. There's the other wheel tub there. Welded the hinge bracket back on the wheel tub. Now we're going to fit the quarter panel back on it because we're going to cut the quarter panel here and butt weld it to that. We'll spot weld it in there, spot weld it here, clamp it and spot weld it there. We got the floor welded into the front over there. And we also have it welded to the wheel tub on this side. We had to put this bracing in so the floor was in the right spot. We actually welded that in before we took the floor out, so that floor is in the correct position, height on both sides. We also braced that over there so when you cut this off it doesn't swing back and forth. So there we go. We'll get the quarter panel on it pretty soon. Okay, today we're going to cut off this quarter and wheel tub and hopefully get the other one fit today. These holes here I will cut with a rotor broach or spot weld cutter, because I don't want to have to weld all these up in here. Huge hole. But these here, seeing as I'm going to spot weld the new panels to that panel, I made sure all those were, you just drill those right out. Makes it quicker. Same with those there. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll drill those out completely. Then we'll just grind this lip off. Same with this one here. Gotta try and save this bracket in there. So we'll drill those out. So we're getting there. We got the B pillar out. We drilled all them holes out. We're going to weld those up. We're going to do some sandblasting in here. We're going to prep that for pour 15. Then we'll start fitting more panels. We did fit the trunk drop down, which seems to fit pretty good. We also sprayed some weld through primer on. We'll start fitting panels today. Okay, there is the trunk drop down, all installed. Well, it's not installed, but it's all screwed in. And the wheel tubs, inner and outer, everything's all, holes are all punched, but it's just vice gripped in place. And the reason we vice grip it in place, as opposed to screwing this in, is you fit the quarter panel first, and then you can take these vice grips off and set it into place, and then re-vice grip it so the quarter, it sets into the quarter correctly. Okay, we got the wheel tubs in, the holes are all drilled for the spot welds. We do have to do some more for over here. We'll punch holes in here for the spot welds. But they're set in there with vice grips and not screwed in, because when we put the quarter panel on there, we will undo the vice grips after we screw the quarter panel on, and then the wheel tubs will set right in place where they're supposed to go. We'll re-vice grip them and then screw them in so they don't move. Otherwise you might be fighting the quarter to the wheel tub if you just start welding that in right now. But everything's fit. This is screwed in, so hopefully we won't have to move that, but we can always unscrew that and set that in place and re-screw it in. Just the easiest way to hold it up there, because all you'd have for vice grip is there. and you couldn't fit vice grips in here while we're trying to fit this. So stay tuned. Okay, so here's the 70 Chevelle that we've been working on. We got this quarter panel welded on yesterday and finished it up this morning. Fit the trunk lid, and this gap got a little bit tight. This can go out just a little bit. Pretty nice gap all the way down. Same down here. This can move down a little bit, so we'll screw that in and it'll move it. This gap's a little bit wide though for some reason. You might be able to split the difference. Everything else seems to fit pretty good. It's all screwed on. New wheel tubs were put in. They're not welded in yet, but they're ready to go. And this gap for some reason is a lot wider than the other one. But as you can tell, it's right where it needs to be. So I might move this door back just a little bit, because it could go back just a little bit, because it's out just a little bit there. So that'll be next. So hopefully I don't have to cut this quarter and make this tighter or add to the door. I'll show you the other side. And there's the other side. So you can see that it's a little bit wonky right here, but it's got a pretty nice gap. And it's definitely wonky right there. For some reason the stamping on the door is a little off. But I've seen that on all the Chevelles for some reason, especially on this passenger side. But that was all welded on, ready to be ground down. And then we gotta make a patch panel for here instead of letting that in. And there's your parts right there. Oh, and the floor will be next after we get that quarter done.